Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for January 2023. So on January 20th, we have the sun moving out of Capricorn energy, moving into Aquarius energy. So this is going to be a very welcome shift for a couple of reasons. So let's break it down. The sun in Capricorn season, first of all, we had Capricorn season kick off with the winter solstice. We entered into a new karmic realm, a new storyline, a new soul contract area where we are essentially cleaning up the karma of the past and setting the tone for the new karmic chapters that we are entering into. Capricorn energy, very karmic in nature, ruled over by Saturn, the Lord of Karma himself. Now, we are focused on roles and responsibilities. We are focused on foundations and systems and structures. Which ones aren't strong enough to house the next phase of our dreams? Which ones need to be built in those failing foundational places in order to support us in bringing some goals, some dreams, some visions to life? But here's the thing. Capricorn season is an earth sign, so it's very low, very slow, very logical, very practical. Literally takes his sweet Jesus time in order for us to actually piece things together. And of course, Mercury being retrograde in that Capricorn season and that Capricorn energy didn't help things at all for us piecing things together and kind of gaining insight and projecting ourselves into a futuristic realm because we were kind of stuck reflecting back. The beautiful thing about the Capricorn energy, although it doesn't feel very good, is that it illuminates for us the heaviness, the weight that we feel in our soul space, in our ego space. Why? Because we are faced with the blockages, with the challenges, with the limitations, with the restrictions of our physical realm, and what that means for us in actually being able to be moving forward in a positive direction. We recognize the heaviness, the weight, the blockages. When we move in to Aquarian energy, we set out to emotionally detach from ourselves, from our lives, from our circumstances. Why? Because we need a break. Why? Because the existential dread that many of us experience through Capricorn season is too much. Okay, that's why this time of year is just blah. Why it's too much for many, many people to even deal with, to even want to think about our futures, because we're just struggling and trying to get through the day. When we move into this Aquarian energy and we emotionally detach, we free ourselves from the weight, from the constructs, from the restrictions, from the limitations of our physical realm, of our physical bodies, of time, of karma. We essentially cut the cord and just say, you know what? I need to move into my higher mind for a second and really try to piece together all that has taken place and all that I want to take place, but I can't do it with my emotions weighing me down. So we emotionally detach. We move into the highest octave of our intelligence. The highest octave connects us to the higher realms of intelligence. I'm going to say life forms out in the cosmos that's constantly downloading us with information, with ideas, with aha moments, with epiphanies, with inspiration in order for us to be inspired and excited about life again. So the Aquarian energy is like, okay, let me free myself not only from the emotional weight of what Capricorn season was and all the previous seasons and cycles that we just moved through in the zodiac wheel, but let me also free myself from some of the blockages, the restrictions, the limitations that I just realized that are blocking me from actually doing what I want to do. Let's problem solve. Let's push the boundaries of the comfort zone here and see what kind of ceilings I can actually break through. Now, this Aquarian energy is, again, the highest form of our intellect. So we want knowledge. We want information. We want to have this big, broad perspective. It's the visionary energy of the zodiac. It is the consciousness of the collective. We want to bring the unconsciousness into awareness. And we essentially want to push the boundaries of progress. We want to be better. We want to do better. How are we going to get there? Well, we're going to push the boundaries of our thoughts, of our thinking. We're going to come up with new ways of doing things. We're going to be innovative. We're going to be progressive in a lot of ways. We are going to examine what we're done with, what is so freaking old and life sucking that we have to examine what is old, what is outdated in our lives, where it is that we feel stuck, where it is that we feel blocked. And we have to push ourselves to see things from a different light, because again, this is the observer mentality. We have to push ourselves to think outside of the box, to see things from a different light, see things from a different set of eyes, to also be able to add some spice into the mundane tasks and chores that we can't get rid of, because Lord knows there are some soul-sucking tasks and chores and roles and responsibilities that we would love to get away from that we can't. So what do we do about that? We try to innovate. We try to kind of tackle it in a new way, in a new form, adding a little bit of spice into the mundane tasks, the mundane chores. Now, this is also a very interesting time because Saturn, who rules over Capricorn season, is also the traditional ruler of Aquarius energy. The modern day ruler is Uranus. And this is an interesting dynamic because Saturn, of course, who rules over karma and systems and structures and foundations, he's old school. He wants to keep everything the same. He's a traditionalist. While Uranian energy likes to shock us, likes to awe us, likes to give us aha moments and open up our minds and open up our, I'm going to say, whole beings to new, different ways of going about our lives. It is the energy that wants us to make dramatic changes, that wants to spontaneously just alter the way that we've been living our lives. And it is not traditional in any kind of way. So there is this, I'm going to say, inner conflict that takes place in Aquarian energy because we're constantly having to examine the old, recognizing where it is old, where it is outdated, where it is very traditional. And there's a part of us that just wants to hold on to that because it's predictable. While seeing the disgust that we have to sit in the same old, constantly pushing ourselves to think outside of the box, come up with something new. There's this spark, there's this energy of adventure, of new enterprises, of new horizons, just kind of being laid out and opened up before us. Again, very futuristic. So the Saturn part of this rulership has us looking back. The Uranian part of this rulership has us looking forward. And what we get left with is this present moment where we get to decide what it is that we are going to focus on, because our focus, our awareness is what gives things power. So we might find right now that sticking with the old and outdated just isn't jiving with us. It's going to just, suck that life force energy out of us. We're also going to realize that looking towards the future and all the possibilities of the future, that might go from exciting to stressful very, very quickly. And the name of the game in life, period, is all about balance. But the balance that we need to find here is freedom, is liberation, is independence. Why? Because we need to free ourselves from the restrictions, the blockages that we have identified are too heavy, are too weighted, are sucking the life force energy out of us. But taking on a brand new reality seems like a little bit much as well. We also have to understand that the independence comes from the fact that, yes, we have relationships, yes, we have partnerships, but we've also realized that we've lost a lot of our own individuality, our own unique identity in these partnerships. And this is like us taking our power back. The Aquarian energy is giving the power back to the people. And this means that instead of turning our lights down in order to fit in with everyone else, that we should be turning our lights up to stand out from the crowd. We aren't here to be part of the crowd. We're here to stand out. And we all need to stand out. We all have a very important gift. We all have a very important role. And freeing ourselves, liberating ourselves from the hive mind is going to essentially align us with an energy that acts as a moment of brilliance, a moment of genius. And then we can align with like-minded people that, like that moment of genius, that like that idea, that want to become a part of something bigger. And then we work together as individuals to bring together a group collective mind. So there's this part of us that is essentially trying to free ourselves from some of the aspects that we would have realized are too heavy, too weighted from this Capricorn energy. And there's a part of ourselves that is constantly trying to reinvent ourselves as far as creating new elements in our lives go. And there is, this constant give and take, this constant ebb and flow of recognizing where things have been the same for far too long and where things need to progressively improve in order for us to feel like we're doing something with our lives. Now, this is also about recognizing where it is that we're having some new ideas, some new inspirations coming in that we're really excited to actually pursue. And keep in mind that Mercury just went direct just hours ago. We had Mars go direct about a week ago. So we have our physical energy, our passions, our desires, our inspirations, our motivations being activated with new ideas, with new concepts, with new goals, new dreams, new visions, and we're actually able to bring them to life. Now, what this Aquarian season is going to do is really help us kind of process what strategy, what action, what moves we need to take in order to actually bring some of these elements to life. And we're essentially, because we're emotionally detached, we're essentially ready to change up our worlds, our realities. We are definitely stuck in our headspace. We are bringing in new information, new knowledge, which is essentially changing our perspective of the past and altering our wants, needs, and desires for the future. We are essentially just bringing a lot of the pieces together. Aquarian energy is about the connections, not just the connections that we're making in our physical realm with like-minded people, but the connections that we're making in our highest selves, in our higher minds, in our heart and head, by looking back, by looking ahead, by bringing everything back into the present moment and seeing where the puzzle pieces are connecting. And, it's a fixed sign, right? So we're ready to stay the course. We're ready to examine the problems. We're ready to do whatever needs to be done in order to bring a better solution to some of the problems that we've identified need to change. And this is an air energy of the highest mind, of the highest intellect. So there's a lot of processing going on that we're not even consciously aware of. This is how these genius aha moments, these epiphanies happen. We just get downloaded into our higher state of mind and zap, just like that, our perspective change, or we have a new idea, or we have a new inspiration to actually pursue. And it is in the recreation of our realities that we're bringing some of these ideas to life, because we recognize what it is that we need to move away from, what it is that is damaged, is broken, or needs to be totally destroyed in our lives in order to set us free, to pursue a new path, to go out in the world and bring new ideas to life, to basically find a new, I'm going to say, dance that we can kind of drift off in our own little world and dance to, and recognize that when we are in alignment with our higher selves, with our vision, with our dreams, and we are dancing to the beat of our own drum, we take a look around and we realize that everyone else is dancing to the beat of their own drum. And we recognize that when we bring the drums together and it creates a beautiful harmonization, that yes, we're all dancing to our own individual beat, but that beat harmonizes and we can come together, and now we are having a group dance. So it's very much about finding your individual path, what makes you unique, what inspires you, what ideas motivate you in order to make the greatest change. And on that journey of, let's call it a solo journey of freeing yourselves from some of the restrictions and obligations and foundations and systems that you've identified are holding you back and weighing you down, you take a look around and you realize that there's all these people doing the exact same thing. And it's through our individuality, our uniqueness, that we're actually able to come together with a like-minded focus and build a brand new collective, all on the same page of awareness, all on the same page of ideas, all on the same page of inspiration. And just keep in mind that this Aquarian energy is the second last sign of the zodiac wheel, which means that, and you know, not to get, you know, too far away from things here, but it means that we have a lot of information to bring forth. It means that we have a lot of boundaries to push. It means that we have a lot of changes to make before we dive into the Piscean energy that takes these new revelations, these new aha moments, these new epiphanies, and contrast them towards the old in order for us to see where the elements are ending, in order for these new ideas, these new goals, these new visions, these new dreams to actually be able to begin. We move through the Pisces season shedding away the old in order to create space for the new that gets realized through Aquarius season. We need to create a space for that. That's what that Piscean energy does, is it cleanses us. It prepares us to let go of the old, to jump into the new. And of course, the new actually doesn't kick off and get started until Aries season begins. The new astrological calendars begin, and where whatever it is that your higher mind downloads you with here in Aquarius season, the Aries season is when we bring it to life. It's that spark, it's that fire, it's that initiation that's needed in order to bring these aha moments, these epiphanies into our actual physical realms. So Aquarius season is definitely going to be a shift. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be a lot of mental processing. It's going to be very profound in the information that we seek consciously, that comes to us unconsciously, that basically are planting the seeds for the new path, the new direction that we are all individually taking in order to align us with the same kinds of people, the like-minded collective, that together, when we're all on the same page, the same frequency, the same vibration, we're literally able to change the world. And I often say, you know, we all want to see changes in the world. Well, it starts with you. You have to be the change in the world that you want to see. And as you are actively pursuing what that change might be, you will find other people doing the exact same thing. And this is where we build brand new communities that we can work with for a common goal, a common dream, a common vision that we're actually able to bring to life when we all align with the same type of awareness, the same type of vision, the same type of frequency. So this Aquarius season is definitely going to download you with the direction, the ideas, the objective that is needed for you to really set your sights on, because that is the goal. That is what we are looking to bring to life when we enter into this new astrological calendar.